Hi all, today we are going to see an Indian horror comedy film, Stree. But before going forward, please subscribe our channel to support and give us the motivation to go forward. The plot of the movie is based on an Indian folk legend about a witch who abducts men at night when they are alone and only leaves their clothes behind. The residents of a town named Chanderai believe in the spirit of an angry woman, referred to as Stree, who stalks men and whisks them away during the 4 days of a religious festival every year, causing many disappearances over the years. To protect the residents from her wrath, "O Stree, come tomorrow" is written in Hindi with bat's blood on the entrances of all homes, and men are advised to not roam alone after 10 p.m. during the festive season, and move in groups for safety. Vicky, a young boy and also famous among ladies for his tailoring capabilities, one of those specialities is taking the measurement without even using the measurement tapes. He does not believe in his town's superstitious stories and neglect the fact that a mere sentence written on the wall can stop a witch to enter into their house. One day, when he was mysteriously encounters an unnamed charming woman who only comes to the town during the annual puja season, and he falls in love with her at first sight. She asks him to stitch a lahanga for her within 2 days and accompanies her outside the temple after the puja. He brags about her in front of his friend, Bitu and Jana. At night, after the puja, Bitu and Jana went to their friend's place for a party. But Vicky stays, so that he can wait for the girl. When she came, they talk and she gave him a letter and asks him to open it tomorrow. While enjoying at the party in his friend's house, Vicky went outside the house to pee and intentionally peed on the word tomorrow, which provoked the witch to enter the house and the lights went off. After hearing the thud on the door, everyone got scared. But instead of which there is a female prostitute called by one of his friends who is knocking on the door, but before his friend can get laid, which abducts him with her and only leaves his clothes at the location. Next day, Vicky opens the letter and showed it to his friends. Bitu makes fun of him and the shopping list provided by his girlfriend. Vicky needs to bring her a lizard's tail, white cat's fur, flowers of datura, meat and brandy. At night, Vicky went to meet the girl, and his friend Bitu starting to get suspicious of Vicky's girlfriend because of his frequent disappearances. Her shopping list including peculiar items presumed to be the ingredients for black magic and the fact that she is not seen by anybody except Vicky. He starts believing that she could be Stree. For sake of Vicky's life, his friend went to look out for him, but because of the scary tension around the village they return. Because of Bitu's stinginess, Jana got furious and parted his way from Bitu towards his house. On his way home, Jana confronted the night witch and she abducts him too. On the other hand, Vicky is spending time with his girlfriend alone in the jungle. She tricks him and run away. Next day, after hearing the news of Jana's abduction and Bitu's suspicion, Vicky grows suspicious of the woman as well. He confronts her, on which she disappears yet again. They decide to find a way to save their friend and ask the town's librarian Rudra Baya for help, who is also a paranologist. In Rudra's bookshop, they come across a partially torn book titled Chanderai Puran in his library, which mentions Stree's story and an old fort which Vicky claims he has seen when he was on a date with a woman. Vicky, Bitu, and Rudra then visit the old fort, which Stree supposedly inhabits, to find Jana. Stree drives away Bitu and Rudra and is about to attack Vicky but does not, as she senses the feeling of love and respect in his eyes. She is then driven away by the unknown woman's spell. She reveals later that she has been trying to defeat Stree for the last 3 years after losing someone close to her, and that is why she comes to the town only during the festive season. This clarifies that she and Stree are 2 different persons. Stree releases Jana as requested by Vicky the same night. However, he starts having sporadic violent episodes. More men go missing after a possessed Jana, under Stree's control, erases the word tomorrow from the protective phrases outside everyone's homes, leaving it as "O Stree, come," an invitation. Vicky, Bitu, Rudra and the woman decide to meet the book's author Shankar Shastri, Vijay Raz, to find a permanent solution to save the town, and he informs them that Stree had once been an extremely beautiful courtesan who every man in town desired. At last, she found a man who truly loved her and wanted to marry her, but on their wedding night, Stree and her husband were killed by the town's jealous men. Her spirit has ever since been searching for her true love and also seeks revenge on the town by aiming to abduct every last man in it. Shastri tells them of a prophecy pointing to a savior, and Vicky surprisingly appears to have all the characteristics describing the savior. Initially, Vicky believes that too until he recalls the inclusive feature of the savior, son of a courtesan. His friends then reveal the secret of him being a courtesan's son, which infuriates Vicky and he leaves in haste. In a drunk state, he confronts his father, to which he silently agrees to upset Vicky further, but then feels grateful for his father's affection and efforts, and decides to save his town, which accepted him and didn't denounce him. They set up a trap to defeat Stree, and Vicky set him up as bait for her. But before they can attack Stree, Jana again attacked them, and taking the advantage of this distraction, Stree abducts Vicky too and took him to the same fort, where before she can do anything the unknown woman came to his rescue and throws magic powder on her. The woman then suggests Vicky to stab her heart with a knife to kill him for the good, but Vicky denied killing her, because he has already seen the innocence in her eyes. The woman then suggests that he simply cut her long braid, the source of her powers, so that she will be rendered powerless. He does so, and Stree vanishes. The woman leaves the city the next day and Vicky bids her farewell, forgetting to ask her name all this time. On the bus, the woman merges Stree's braid with her own hair and then vanishes from the bus, implying that she is the witch who wanted Stree's power through her braid. Stree visits Chandirai again the following year and finds her own statue at the town entrance with a new phrase, "Oh Stree, protect us," thus giving her respect, and she does not enter Chandirai.